It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
Greetings and welcome to 2K Sports. I rarely say greetings, but I just did. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, alongside
seat and buckled in at the American Airlines Arena as the Heat look to grab a win here in Miami. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and on the sideline, David Aldridge. The Miami Heat, they won their last contest, that game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
And they ran their offense nearly to perfection in that one. Very few possessions were wasted.
That's what you hope to see every game. When it all comes together like that, it's really fun to watch.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Guys, Chicago is one of the league's biggest markets, but it still has that blue-collar culture. Longtime Bull Luol Deng exemplified that spirit. He said if you're coming in to just show your skills, just look good, the city of Chicago is not going to accept you. They want to see you work hard night in and night out. If you do, the city will love you. Kevin?
They want grit and toughness, David. Thank you. And in the early going of a season, Steve, is team chemistry usually any different from later on?
Sometimes we've been together, it's kind of easy. But then when you have different guys coming in, coaching movement, chemistry sometimes takes a while to get going. But you want to hit it right when you're going into the playoffs.
Great way to put it. And it's going to be the Bulls off the tip. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Taking a look at the Bulls. Mirotic at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. D-Wade out there with Rajon Rondo. And it's Butler in at the small forward. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Wade from outside. Miami grabs the miss. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
And they rolled over this team last season, beating them every time they faced off.
Yeah, these two teams haven't changed that much. So I wouldn't be surprised if they run the table on them again.
And that one's good by Butler.
Rondo is out there to distribute the ball. He is a master at finding the open man.
Dragic dishes to Whiteside. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Stolen by Waiters. Now here's Dragic, the fast break opportunity. Here's Whiteside. Count it. Whiteside's got 6. Miami on defense. 4-point game. Right side, Rondo. Stolen by Winslow. Outside Bosch. To the wing right side. Winslow against Butler. A nice shot by Winslow. Winslow's got his first points in this one. Dragic against Rondo. Poke loose. And so the ball's out of bounds. Winslow touched it last. It's time now to look at the NBA's top shooting teams from a season ago. In fourth, the Heat.
Hard to shoot the ball any better than they did. I mean, they weren't the best in the league, but man, they were right there.
Wade against Waiters. Butler from outside. And the Bulls with another miss.
Well, no one's scoring off that screen. That was terrible.
Wade against Waiters. He kicks it to Winslow. Bosch passes to Waiters. Back to Bosch. Shot clock at 6. Takes it from 10. The bank shot is good. Bosch has got his first bucket of the night.
And whatever coach told them coming out of the locker room, they're listening. 5 out of 5 already.
It didn't take long for Coach Hoiberg to have his first taste of what it's like to be an NBA coach. Jimmy Butler famously said he wanted Hoiberg to coach the Bulls a lot harder during their struggle.
Well, they were used to being coached hard. I think for Hoiberg, he has to be himself. A coach has to have the players buy into their system. And you know what? Winning helps and losing doesn't.
Here's Lopez following the basket by Chris Bosh. Mirotic, a screen on Dragic. Nice shot by Rondo.
And that gentle release on Rondo's floater, when he's making these shots, the D is in trouble.
Dragic kicks to Winslow. Butler with the steal. In transition, here come the Bulls. Softly drops in the floater. Butler's got 6. The Heat leading by 4. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Bosch dishes to Waiters. Just 5 to shoot. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. The Heat shooting their first free throws of the game.
Yeah, last year, collectively, only 74% from the line.
The first one falls.
The Bulls last year with a surprisingly disappointing season. They missed the playoffs for the first time since 2008, ended up 9th in the East, 1 spot out of the playoffs.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Johnson, he's checked in for Whiteside. Luke Babbitt comes in for Winslow. Richardson, he's checked in for Dion Waiters. And it's Johnson in for Goran Dragic. And although the Bulls were able to finish above 500 with a 42-40 record, Steve, fans were hoping to see that team challenge for the East title in the playoffs.
A big problem for the Bulls was the rest of the East and their own division drastically improved as well. The Bulls were a team that just couldn't get it going last season.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
There's the dish to Babbitt. Lets it go with a 3. A three-pointer is right on target. Babbitt's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Laverne passes to Butler. They set the pick. Back to Laverne. And it's sent back by Bosch. And they'll keep possession. Grant gets a wide open look. And it's off from 3-point range. Miami leading by 6. Johnson goes in, dishes to Johnson, and Grant sends it back, and he's able to get it back. Johnson kicks to Bosch. A second chance effort, stolen. To the middle, got a piece of it, and taken away by Johnson. Here's Richardson. Good, and it's Bosch picking up the assist.
Excellent work there in transition.
He doesn't give the defense any time to set up. He just goes extremely hard to the bucket.
Grant dishes to Butler. Passes to Laverne. Butler kicks to Felicio. That shot misses. Bosch with some nice D. The Heat have gone an incredible 8 of 9 from the field. Babbitt's shot is off. Now here's Butler. Fires from deep. He doesn't hit that one. And so the first quarter is in the books. Heat out front, leading by 8. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And a guy who seems to improve every season, Jimmy Butler. He spoke with us about one of his biggest surprises.
It's crazy because I never thought that anybody would be preparing to guard me night in and night out. But they do. I have to learn to cope with that and still find a way to be successful on both ends of the floor. And it's a learning curve for me also, but I'm figuring it out.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player, and if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Heat?
Just the start they're looking for in this game. Solid offensively through the first.
That quarter was all about ball movement and shooting. Lights out opening act from them.
So for Chicago right now, Grant is out there with Dwayne Wade. And there's Laverne. Then there's Anthony Morrow. And it's Felicio in at the 5 down low.
Couldn't have been more wide open on that one.
There's Winslow. Here's Whiteside. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. Whiteside's got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for Miami. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Wade. Back to Laverne. Shoots it. Kept alive. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Whiteside. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Here's Johnson, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And there's the call. Chicago the foul.
2.
James Johnson, a journeyman forward, a product of Wake Forest, as we know, Smitty, and wherever he has landed, he has found a way to crack the rotation and get solid minutes.
Yes, James Johnson is a perfect guy to round out your roster. Reason why he can play either forward position with ease. He is comfortable and productive both as a starter or coming off the bench.
The first free throw is good. All as a former player, Smitty, you know just how much effort it takes on a nightly basis to succeed, and who in the NBA do you see that has the best motor, the highest competitive value, night in and night out, always hustling?
Russell Westbrook is one of those guys. His motor never turns off. Draymond Green, those guys love to come out and compete. Chris Paul is another guy. You can see the passion in those guys, their mind working while they're on the floor at all times.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it was controversial in Chicago, but the Bulls hired Fred Hoiberg to replace Tom Thibodeau. Hoiberg played for a decade in the NBA, and at Iowa State, he was the fastest coach in school history to reach 100 wins. In Chicago, guys, it seems he's loosened the reins a bit, giving the players a little more leeway to shoot with confidence and air it out offensively.
The players have responded. Thanks, David. So at Chicago now, Justice Winslow missing his last shot, and the Bulls with another miss.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
Waiters, he's checked in for James Johnson. And a change for the Bulls. Rondo's checked in. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. The Heat shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Free throw good. Dragic. Chicago making a switch here. Lopez is checked in. Both free throws good from Dragic.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
And really, had they just shot their average from the free throw line in that game, I think that probably changes the outcome.
For whatever reason, they weren't mentally strong that game from the line. way too many missed attempts from the stripe.
Cannot be happy with how things have gone during this run. I think it's a good decision to take a break.
He just needs to slow the pace of this game and get his players under control here.
And looking back at last season, here's a look at the 3-point and 2-point shot attempt averages for the Bulls.
It seems like they found a nice middle ground here. There's some long range, some inside the arc. That kind of offensive versatility makes it really tough for a team to defend.
Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. And here's Rondo. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Atlanta.
He really made a concerted effort to help in the rebounding department. He made his presence felt on the boards.
Now here's Ellington after Dwayne Wade's miss. Yep, it counts.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Rondo passes to Lopez. Rondo against Dragic. Here's Mirotic. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. Let's take a look at the players who were the best on the glass a season ago. In the third spot, Hassan Whiteside.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Wade, good.
And Dwayne Wade will do work on you from the mid-range if you let him.
Kicks to Waiters. Pass to Winslow. It's good. It's his second basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
Excellent bounce pass there to set up his teammate.
Bulls trail by 16. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Wade. Hassan Whiteside grabs the miss. Whiteside's got 5 rebounds tonight. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Now the pass to Mirotic. Inside, Lopez. And Smitty, when you were a young player in the league and taking on the great legends of the 90s, were there any games where you were just in awe of who you were on the court facing?
A lot, Kevin, but some names that come to mind was first Michael Jordan. Going up against the great Michael Jordan. A lot of people say they played against Michael, but he played the 2-guard position.
Right at
and
you,
I had to guard him.
Oh, my gosh.
And he was guarding me. And then growing up in Detroit, got a chance to work out with Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and then compete against these guys. Those are the 3 names that come to mind. I think those are the 3 that really had an influence on my game.
And the single most difficult guy for you to cover?
By far. I couldn't cover him. That was Michael Jordan.
And who was a guy that was the best defensive player on you, guarding you?
And he was a teammate of mine, so a lot in practice. But then when we got traded and separated, Stacey Altman, the plastic man, was a guy I had problems with.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
He also understands better than most how to use angles, and that was the reason why.
Now, here is Mirotic. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Mirotic is not phased at all. Doesn't matter what you're throwing his way, he's going to top it.
And Waiters kicks to Babbitt. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul.
The Heat have made all of their free throws so far tonight, going 6 for 6. That's good from Babbitt. Anthony Morrow's checked in for Chicago. That one falls, so he hits both of them. 1:49 left in the second quarter. Rondo drives in. He dishes it to Lopez. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got 3 assists tonight. Raiders on the wing. Bosch, high post. Hits from the high post. Bosch has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And that kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
Lopez a screen. Johnson against Rondo. Lopez with the bucket. Lopez has got 6 here in this quarter.
And that soft touch of Lopez makes things easy for him down there.
Pass to Magruder. Feeds it to Bosch. From 13, and it's Miami with another.
Playing smart offensively in the first half, no doubt about it.
That's what they do. They find the high percentage shots, and they nail them.
Now here's Rondo. Outside Butler. Lopez. And he uses the glass on the layup. Lopez has got 8.
They are just killing them on the interior.
It's tipped. And out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic.
You can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
That was a risky pass. Poor decision, really. Fortunately, they didn't lose the possession.
Laverne, he's checked in for the Bulls. Jaron Grant comes in for Rajon Rondo. Now here's Bosch. Last game he had 10 points. Johnson dishes to Johnson. Miami no good on that time either. Bulls trail by 14. And there's the feed to Laverne. Grant with the ball. Here's the screen. Here's Butler. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Heat lead by 14. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. James, you came out and you were really productive. In fact, the whole bench was productive.
Yeah, of course, you know, that's what the second unit is for. We go hard in practice. We know we can play with the best of them, and we just want to give our first guys the first group a lift.
You certainly did, James. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the 3rd quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. Miami did not hesitate to set the pace. They did it just the way it was drawn up in the locker room, starting out on a 10-2 run. After 1, they held an 8-point advantage. Then in quarter number 2, they actually increased their intensity to pull further out in front, finishing with a double-digit advantage at the half. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
Well, shooters were popping open right and left. Exceptional ball movement. Guys racing off screens, spotting up, knocking down shots. That's the way you play basketball unselfishly, and it was superb, and they exploited all the weaknesses of the defense.
And Shaq, what'd you think about Chicago?
Well, they're obviously facing a hot shooting team tonight. That combined with a lackluster effort on defense, recipe for disaster, Ernie. Without major improvements defensively, this game is O-V-A, over.
It is just about time now for the 3rd quarter to begin. After the final buzzer sounds, the 3 of us will still be sitting here talking to you.
Actually, it's 4 people.
We return now to Miami, where you can see all the action happening on Ocean Drive, right on the beachfront. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. You look at Chris Bosh in this game, I mean, he's been everywhere.
You just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Just fundamentally sound basketball. That's what you want out of your offense of each and every game.
Heat leading by 14. A lot of length up front with Bosch and Whiteside in the middle. Dragic is out there with Dion Waiters. And it's Winslow in at the 3 spot. That's the group on the floor for Miami. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Winslow's got the first field goal of the second half for the Heat. The Bulls shooting 43% from the floor. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we know Jimmy Butler made a big bet on himself back in 2014. He turned down the Bulls' 4-year, $44 million contract extension offer, and it paid off. After a breakthrough season, he signed a new contract, a max deal for 5 years and $95 million. He said of his decision, "I was nervous, I'm not going to lie to you. Everything I put myself through, I knew what I was capable of."
He's come a long way, David. Thank you. Rondo can't get it to go. Heat shooting an impressive 65%, having their way with this defense. Here's Whiteside. It's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. That's 12 points for Hassan Whiteside.
And they are trying to put the hammer down, attacking the rim whenever they can.
Well, that's how you bury an opponent when they're struggling. Don't ease up. Just keep going hard.
Now, here's Lopez. He's got 8, and it's Butler missing. Dragic kicks to Bosch. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Well, we're hearing less about flopping now, thank goodness, than we did a couple seasons ago. The league started issuing penalties for the worst flops. You think that's made a difference?
Yeah, I think so. Guys were, it was getting carried away. A lot of Hollywood was acting right there. And I think for the NBA's, it's hard. You see guys full speed get hit. And some of these guys are acting like they got hit by a Mack truck, so I like the fines for flops.
And of course, you never flopped.
No, not at all.
No,
Kevin. No, not me. No way.
We've looked for the tape. We can find none. None. The Bulls making a switch here. Felicio's checked in. And so Bosch nails both of them. Chicago calls timeout.
You know what? I think he thinks he can make a few improvements to how things are going on right now.
You know what? You constantly have to be making adjustments in this league if you want to stay on your game.
With this chance, let's show you the league's most intimidating shot blocking defenses from last season. Number 1, the Heat.
And that defensive reputation has value in and of itself. I mean, by the end of the season, teams were afraid to take the ball inside.
Raiders against Wade. Passes it to Felicio. Down low. Out to Wade. To the paint. Felicio, the pass to Wade.
Dwayne Wade at the stripe. How many times have we said that before? He lives there.
And you look over the career of Dwayne Wade. He was initially a slasher, but he's improved his shot and pull-up jumper immensely, and even has become a threat from deep if you give him space.
That free throw good from Wade. Wayne Ellington's checked in for the Heat. Both free throws good from Wade. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Outside Dragic. Here's Whiteside. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Thinking again about how Wade's skills have evolved over the years, his offensive game has grown immensely since his rookie season.
And it's why he will go down as one of the all-time greats. His work ethic in improving his game. Fantastic post-up player as a guard. Wade's ability to score in any fashion is what makes him one of the great closers in our game.
And the first one drops. Good on both. Bulls trail by 18. Outside Rondo. Wade dishes to Mirotic. The basket good off the assist from Wade.
The long arms of Mirotic. When he's got a good chance to shoot down inside, he's always going to take it.
A nice shot by Winslow. Winslow's got 4 points this quarter.
And this team is ahead largely because of his accuracy from the floor tonight.
Rondo kicks to Butler. They set the pick to the inside. Felicio. It's deflected and the back. Here's Magruder. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. And he banks in the layup.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
The reason why, he has such a great touch. You got to have that shot inside with the big guys.
Now here's Butler. He has 6. The 3. That's good from Wade on the assist by Butler. Butler's got his 3rd assist on the night.
That's great court vision by Jimmy Butler. Really seeing the court well.
Pass to Magruder. Heaved it to Winslow. From 11 feet away.
And if continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
This is his first free throw of the game. And he makes the first. And the 2016 draft lottery, Steve, was the first time ever that it played out exactly in the order of the team's records. So that being said, do you think there's still enough uncertainty in the way the lottery's handled?
Yeah, I think a little bit. What I would love to see, though, Kevin, is these teams that's repeatedly in the lottery year after year after year, I think you have to be penalized some kind of way. After 2 or 3 years, you can't be in the lottery or you can't get the first 5 picks. I think you have to be competitive.
Grant kicks to Felicio. Bulls moving the ball around. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
There's the dish to Richardson. Here's Whiteside. That shot off. And it's Chicago the other way. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That game is the first and last of their homestand. And it's Butler missing.
If you're trying to figure out why these guys can't catch up, his inconsistent shooting is a good place to start.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
That's his first personal foul. Hassan Whiteside. 2.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. The Heat making a switch here. Babbitt's checked in. No luck that time either. Bulls trail by 16. In transition, here come the Bulls. Here's Morrow. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And he shot 74 from the line a season ago.
That free throw good for Morrow. The Heat leading by 13. Johnson, the pass to Whiteside, and a missed layup.
That was a huge face-off at the rim. 2 great competitors. Defense took it.
Steve, when you watch Jimmy Butler play, you have to pay attention at all times. He can just explode on a moment's notice and completely take over a game.
I just love Jimmy Butler on the offensive end. He came into this league known as a defender, hard work. But when no Derrick Rose, he turned into a guy that can score the basketball and count it on that end.
The Heat making a switch here. Waiters is checked in. And Fred Hoiberg wants a timeout.
Start it.
Hassan Whiteside really making a difference here.
This is just one of those nights where he decided to take control of this game. He's been scoring at will no matter who he's matched up against. They need to figure out how to force him into tougher, lower percentage attempts.
And checking out the numbers for Lopez. Good season for him last year. 9th in shooting percentage and a top 15 ranking in blocks per game, supplying that backline protection that is so key to a great defense.
There's the pick. The shot by Butler, nobody around. And again, no good by Chicago. Here's Waiters. Here's Whiteside. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. We've seen him miss a couple from the line so far, going 2 for 4. The first free throw is good. He's perfect from the line this time. Bulls trail by 15. Grant outside. To the paint. They set the pick. Shoots off the screen. That misses off the backboard.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
All you ask for is execution, and those shots will fall later.
Now here's Whiteside. He's got 16. Freed up. Nice work off the pick. Whiteside's got 18 points in the game.
Not the best pick I've ever seen, but it was just enough to get the job done.
Grant kicks to Butler. Lopez a screen. Inside. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 6 assists in the game.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Hassan Whiteside again. Whiteside's got 20 points.
Well, he's doing what keeps them ahead, and he's been doing it all quarter, respecting the hot streak.
Now Butler. 6 points for him. Fires the 3. Can't connect. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's the Heat leading by 17. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. Fred Hoiberg in a recent huddle with his players.
Keep fighting, fellas. All right, one possession at a time. All right, how are we going to do it? Take care of the ball. Make sure we're getting back in transition. A lot of game left. All right, we'll get it going here.
Fred Hoiberg encouraging his players to live in the moment. Don't worry about the score right now. Just keep plowing ahead.
Yeah, great point. You can't undo what's already been done. Just deal with what you can control, which is the next possession.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. On the court for the Bulls, getting this 4th quarter started. Laverne is out there with Robin Lopez. Then there's Dwayne Wade. Then there's Grant, and it's Mirotic in at the small forward. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing.
When Lopez starts going to work on you, sometimes fouling is your only option.
Robin Lopez, 2 shots.
That free throw good from Lopez. And he can't hit the second. The Heat leading by 16. Outside Dragic. He can't get that one. Some solid defense from Grant. Fires the three. Wade misses. And Miami shooting impressively throughout at 62%. Ellington dishes to Johnson. Ellington the pass to Johnson. Heat moving the ball around. And Waiters kicks to Ellington. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Dragic from outside. Drains it from beyond the arc. And the Heat lead by 19.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
It wouldn't be the first time. He's a closer, a player who loves to slam the door shut.
Now, here's Wade. Dishes to Laverne. From 6 away. Another shot. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And for a center, Robin Lopez is definitely one of the better free throw shooters in the league.
At the line for the Bulls, Robin Lopez, 2 shots.
He's off on the first.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
Justice Winslow, he's checked in for Wayne Ellington. And a change for the Bulls. Felicio's checked in. And the second free throw, good. Miami leading by 18. Dragic kicks to Bosch. Pass to Grant. Shoots from 14. Tries again. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
He has been right on the money tonight. If it weren't for that, they'd be much further behind right now.
That's good from Lopez. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. To the wing on the left. Dragic dishes to Bosch. Johnson with a screen on Wade. No good from Bosch. Bulls trail by 15. The 3. And Winslow pulls it down.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time. Way to attack there and then create the contact.
2 shots. Foul. Elbow. 2.
Dion Waiters, 2.
And he knocks down the first one. Whiteside's checked in for the Heat. Rajon Rondo is checked in for Chicago. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
He kicks to Lopez. Now here's Rondo. Wade, right side. Offensive rebound. Second shot opportunity. Felicio, no good. Miami leading by 16. And it's Dion Waiters with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's going to go back the other direction, but they've played a pretty clean game. Not many giveaways, and the score reflects that.
Chicago calls timeout.
Started.
And they've gotten good looks, you know, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, he has to get his offense moving again. It hasn't been bad, but it could be much better.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. To the paint. Ball's knocked loose, and so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. The Bulls making a switch here. Butler's checked in. Here's Wade, kicks it to Butler, and it's blocked by Whiteside. Mirotic, but they recover it. Wade outside, Mirotic the screen. Butler on the wing, the 3-ball, and it's Miami with the rebound. Dragic kicks to Bosch. Back to Dragic, takes the 13-footer. Basket is good, the assist from Bosch. 7 points for Goran Dragic.
He is very frustrating to guard because he makes plays that will drive you crazy.
Lopez outside. The pass to Wade. Back to Lopez, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot, he'll shoot 2.
And Lopez doing whatever he can to get himself to the line.
At the line for the Bulls, Robin Lopez. At the line for 2.
That's good from Lopez. Lopez hits them both. Miami leading by 16. Feeds to Waiters. Here's Bosch. And he can't bank that one in. It drops. That's his 9th field goal of the contest. A blistering hot 9 for 11.
And that putback about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
And you can see one team is working hard on the glass and the other not.
Now here's Lopez. He dishes it to Wade. Back to Lopez. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
Every so often, Robin Lopez will find his groove and become a big factor on offense like tonight.
The 11-footer, and it's Miami with another.
And if you thought this game was over already, you're probably right.
It would take a very, very special comeback for them to chop down this lead.
Now here's Butler. Lopez a screen. Whistle blows. That's going to be a travel.
Clearly a mental lapse at an inopportune time.
Well, I don't care if you're up 50, down 50. There's no excuse for a mistake like that.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Felicio's checked in. Laverne comes in for Mirotic. Anthony Morrow's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Jaron Grant in for Rajon Rondo. Here's Babbitt. Here's Whiteside. Laverne grabs the miss.
See, when you're going into the teeth of the defense, you have to go harder. Soft lay-in won't cut it.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Miami.
The biggest factor tonight had to be their great shooting. They shot much better than the other team.
Yeah, they were working hard on both sides of the floor, but that sky-high field goal percentage plus the pressure defense to force the other team into a lot of misses. Love the effort tonight.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season. And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Hassan Whiteside.
You have to say wow at his offensive output in this game. He was using all sorts of methods to score the basketball. The different ways he attacked based on the defensive look they showed him was a thing of beauty.
And here is Ellington. Lets it go from deep, and that falls.
And that's just a little more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate a W.
They're already celebrating. People are walking to the door, smiles. This one is over.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, what is your approach to going out and playing, and how does that fit in with how this team plays well together?
Well, I mean, it's just energy and belief. It's the belief system. You know, we all work hard. I work extremely hard, and you know, when I can go out there and just play and don't think about it and play with energy, you know, good things happen.
They certainly happen tonight. Congratulations on the win. Back to you, Kevin.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you so much, Kevin. And with this one in the books, we're ready to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Hassan Whiteside. Let's go to Kenny. What'd you think about his performance?
I'm floored by how well he shot the ball. He was unstoppable. I don't mean just the points. The ability to create opportunities for himself and then deliver, now that's a superstar effort.
Man, he took his game to another level tonight. He wasn't hanging in the background. He was their alpha dog. And he got the crowd going wild.
That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. We certainly hope you've enjoyed the show, don't we, guys?
It was great.
Yeah. Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and for Kevin Harlan and the entire 2K Sports crew. All 653,000 of them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Hard-working.
A lot of people.
Yeah. The long line at the buffet, though.
Yeah. Shout out to the T-Poles, man.
Oh.
Yeah.